Septiembre 14, vamos arriba, ¿oíste?
Así me gusta que estén. Así me gusta que estén bien confiaditos y que hablen y todo. Me gusta romperles el hocico cuando hablan así. Espero con ansias ese día. La putiza de su vida, como le dije.
Canelo Alvarez completely lost it on Edgar Berlanga at a recent press conference. In just under a week, Canelo will step back into the ring to defend his titles against Berlanga. This highly anticipated bout is set to take place on September 14th in Las Vegas. Taking a pause from his training, the Mexican headed to the Los Angeles Coliseum to cheer on the Mexican national team in their friendly against New Zealand. Before the opening whistle blew, Canelo addressed Tudden with a stern warning for Berlanga, reigniting the fierce rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico. Canelo emphasized the Puerto Rican's attributes in spite of Berlanga's warning. He is already anticipating this. He said, "He is a young fighter, dangerous, but it is nothing new for me. I have experienced everything in boxing, with good fighters, strong fighters. I prepared for that. We are ready, and on Saturday you are going to see a great fight." The fighter from Jalisco, gearing up to battle a Puerto Rican contender for the fourth time, revealed he trained for this match with the same intensity and focus as his very first ring encounter. He said, "I love what I do. I really enjoy what I do. I love boxing. I respect it very much. I feel good, better than ever. I'm at my best and I'm going to enjoy it." Alvarez also delved into the current state of the Mexican national team, highlighting the beginning of a new chapter under Javier Aguirre's leadership. He said, "Aguirre and Marquez will work well together to give the team that motivation and direction. As I have said, everyone must have the same mentality as the coach." Canelo Alvarez has squared off against a variety of adversaries, but he particularly relishes those who engage in trash talk. Just think back to how he handled Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant after they tried to rattle him. Now, the former undisputed super middleweight champion is gearing up to face Edgar Berlanga. Berlanga's brash, outspoken demeanor seems to have ignited Canelo's enthusiasm for their upcoming clash. In a recent interview, Canelo responded to Berlanga's bold prediction about their upcoming fight, where Berlanga confidently stated his victory. After viewing Berlanga's assertive remarks on his phone, Canelo couldn't help but smile. He shared that he actually thrives on his opponent's trash talk, seeing it as a motivator that only intensifies his determination. Canelo said, "I like them like that. I like them to be confident and do a lot of talking." Canelo nevertheless admits he likes to punish them severely when they step into the ring for the fight, said Canelo. "I like breaking their face when they talk like that." He went on to elaborate, saying he was looking forward to fighting to do the same to Berlanga. Canelo said, "I'm eagerly awaiting that day. It'll be the beatdown of his life." Since his defeat to Dimitri Bivol in May 2022, Canelo has yet to secure a knockout victory, despite his commanding performance against Jaime Munguia in their most recent bout, where he not only dominated the fight but also floored Munguia in the fourth round. He still couldn't finish the match before the final bell. It's clear that Canelo intends to put Edgar Berlanga through a grueling 12-round ordeal. However, Berlanga shouldn't be underestimated. Unlike Canelo, Berlanga is fresh off a knockout win against Padraig McCrory. If he delivers a repeat performance, he could turn the tide, though it's bound to be a formidable challenge. Still, Berlanga remains confident in his ability to counter every strategy Canelo brings to the ring. As he prepares for his September 14th bout with Canelo Alvarez, the 27-year-old contender is confident that the boxing icon will experience a new level of challenge when they face off. Dubbed the Chosen One, he plans to use his reach and power to dominate the fight's tempo and land heavy blows. His strategy appears to be influenced by Dimitri Bivol's successful tactics, which involved a relentless jab and adeptly countering Canelo's aggressive style. Berlanga is fully aware that Alvarez plans to dismantle his defense, but he's ready to stand firm and retaliate with his own formidable strength. As he steps into the ring at the T-Mobile Arena during Mexican Independence Day weekend, Berlanga vows to deliver the most formidable test of Canelo's career. "When we land on him, he's gonna feel something different for sure. I guarantee you, he's gonna feel something different," Berlanga said in the Pound for Pound podcast with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. Before his 1971 bout with Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali famously declared, "I'll float like a butterfly, sting like a bee." The phrase was memorable, but it didn't quite hold up in the ring. Frazier knocked Ali down and clinched a unanimous decision after 15 grueling rounds, kicking off what would become one of the most legendary trilogies in boxing. 5 decades from now, the boxing world is still likely to give slim to none odds for undefeated rising star Edgar Berlanga to dethrone the super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez. DraftKings has Alvarez as a -1,800 betting favorite and Berlanga as a +1,000 underdog. Berlanga told Boxing Scene, "Canelo is overlooking me. He knows that I have skills. He's probably doubting that too, and that I don't hit hard. He's 100% doubting my fighting IQ and experience. He thinks it's a cakewalk for him, and that he's just going to walk in and make $35 to $40 million against a younger guy. He further added, he thinks it's a walkthrough, but he's going to walk into a brick wall. He's going to see something different. It is what it is. He can have that mindset, but he's going to get f***ed if he goes into the fight with that kind of mindset. He's going to get f***ed up. It's just more fire for me to win and whoop his ass. Berlanga is certain that he must use his boxing IQ to fool Alvarez. The statement sparked a commotion during their promotional tour last month when the brash Alvarez scoffed at the notion that a fighter who had yet to contest a world title and had only defeated gatekeepers could outshine him. Alvarez, a 4-division champion with 19 years of professional experience, has logged 496 rounds against the Millennium's elite fighters. In contrast, Berlanga has accumulated 72 rounds over the past 8 years. In a bid to secure a competitive advantage, Berlanga relocated his training camp from Tampa, Florida, to the rugged, high-altitude terrain of Boulder, Colorado. This strategic move mirrored Alvarez's decision from the previous year, when he shifted his camp from San Diego to the challenging heights near Lake Tahoe, California. Berlanga said, "I could have done camp anywhere, but I needed to be out here in nature. When God wants you to elevate in life, He isolates you. And that is why I am in isolation. I'm in the jail. I wanted to be trained in the wilderness at high altitudes. I'm in the woods. There are bears who visit me every morning. I like being around that. That's the real fighter's mentality. It's putting me in the zone. It's putting me in the space to be locked in." Berlanga emphasized that the most crucial aspect of boxing is the mind, rather than the physical side of the sport. He mentioned that he could face an opponent weighing 250 pounds who hits with tremendous force, but could still break them down using his mental intelligence. Berlanga stressed that IQ is everything in boxing, highlighting the importance of being smart in the ring and strategically setting up an opponent to break them down and overpower them in the later rounds. He also noted that he and Canelo share similar jabs, right hands, and combinations, but it's about taking the mental aspect of the sport to a whole new level. He added, he's gotten broken down numerous times. His code has already been cracked 4 times by Floyd Mayweather Jr., Arislandi Lara, the first Gennady Golovkin fight, and by Dmitry Bivol. I'm not going in there like, oh my god, I have to figure this guy out. It's just about the mind, and showing him that I have the IQ and experience. Everything that he says I don't have, I'm going to show him that I have it. The people will see September 14th, Edgar Berlanga first gained notoriety for his strength, eliminating his first 16 opponents in professional competition. But Berlanga's jab will be crucial if they are to defeat Canelo Alvarez in less than 2 weeks. In a recent interview with Michael McCarthy, Berlanga mentioned that the jab would be their key to success. He explained that landing a big punch requires careful setup, especially against opponents like Canelo. Berlanga pointed out that at Canelo's level, simply trying to throw powerful punches wouldn't work, as Canelo would easily anticipate and counter them. He emphasized the importance of being strategic, smart in the ring, and maintaining good discipline.
There's going to be our breadwinner right here, the jab, for this fight September 14th. To land a big punch, you got to set it up. Guys like him at that level, you can't go out there and just try to, just throw bombs. And he's going to see it. He's going to execute on that, So it's about setting up, and being smart in that ring and having good discipline.
Berlanga praised Canelo for his exceptional ring IQ and impressive defensive skills, describing them as crazy and great, respectively. Nevertheless, Berlanga remains confident that powerful punches will continue to play a crucial role. Berlanga remarked that Canelo responds to respect in the ring, noting that if he were to merely tap at him lightly, Canelo would easily overpower him. He emphasized that he's approaching the fight with full intensity, recognizing it as the opportunity of a lifetime that he must seize.
He goes off respect too, right? So if I'm over here, pity patting him, he's gonna walk right through. I'm coming to fight, man.
Right.
Like it's balls to the walls for me. I'm saying? This is the opportunity of a lifetime that I have to grasp towards this. And this is I'm not trying to do this like a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Get this opportunity one time. Like I want to do this. I want to
big
have.
and run. Yeah.
I want to have numerous times of sitting with you and at this caliber, at this high level.
Without a doubt, this represents the most significant opportunity and the greatest challenge Berlanga has faced. Following his impressive knockout streak, Berlanga secured 5 consecutive decision victories as he began facing tougher opponents: Demon Nicholson, Marcelo Cocaras, Steve Rolls, Romer Alexis Angulo, and Jason Quigley. In his most recent bout, Berlanga delivered a knockout blow to Padraig McCrory in the 6th round. Canelo is no stranger to this level of competition. Berlanga must seize this opportunity to make the most of his time in the spotlight spotlight, setting himself up for future returns to this prestigious stage. Berlanga acknowledged that Canelo is a legend who has faced the best in the sport, but he stressed the importance of minimizing mistakes in their upcoming fight. He pointed out that even legends make mistakes, and Canelo can't afford to slip up either. Berlanga described himself as just as dangerous as Canelo, emphasizing the need to avoid mistakes that Canelo might try to exploit on September 14th. He added that they are focused on keeping potential vulnerabilities closed, recognizing Canelo's experience in the ring.
He's a legend. He's been in there with the best. So we have to minimize our mistakes. Legends make mistakes too, 1000%. He can't slip up either, because I'm a guy that I'm dangerous. You know, just like he's dangerous, I'm dangerous too. You know, but with us, we're minimizing a lot of mistakes that could happen September 14th, where he could try to execute on it, you know what I'm saying? And we have to limit those open doors and keep them shut, you know, and keep him thinking and keep him going, because at the end of the day, he's been in there with the best, you know?
Meanwhile, Oscar de la Hoya believes Canelo's star power is set to take a serious hit. The former fighter-turned-promoter played a pivotal role in shaping much of Canelo's career until a contentious split and ensuing legal battle created a rift. Even now, the two, especially de la Hoya, continue to exchange barbs through the media. De la Hoya has recently criticized the pound-for-pound champion for his choice of opponents. He believes that Canelo, who currently holds 3 out of the 4 major super middleweight titles, is dodging a fight with David Benavidez and instead opting for a softer challenge in the top contender, Edgar Berlanga. He said, "Okay, so we're a week away from the boxing match that nobody asked for and the UFC event that everybody will be watching. Canelo's fighting Berlanga, another snooze fest. They're trying to sell a pay-per-view for $90 at $500 minimum in person. It's just robbery at this point. To pay for another lame Canelo fight that will go the distance against a subpar opponent." De La Hoya forecasted that the upcoming event, which will clash with the UFC's showcase at the Sphere, is likely to fall short of 100,000 pay-per-view buys. This would mark a notable departure for Canelo, who has consistently exceeded 500,000 buys and has even surpassed the million mark on several occasions. He said, "I'm the PPV king, and the Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga fight will not exceed 100,000 homes. Nobody is paying $90 for this snooze fest. Just speaking the facts as always." In his last 3 bouts, Canelo Alvarez secured decisive victories with unanimous decisions over John Ryder in May 2023, Jermell Charlo in September 2023, and Jaime Munguia this past May. Ferret said, "He's a great fighter. He's a legend. You can prepare for the way he fought Charlo, the way he fought Munguia, and then he'll give you something totally different." He further added, "You just gotta be ready for any surprises. You just prepare for a little bit of a mixture of everything." Gennady Golovkin, whom Canelo fought in 2017, 2018, and 2022. See what he did with Floyd Mayweather, whom Canelo fought in 2013. Everything together, man. You gotta look at his body of work. So that's what we've been doing. At just 34 years old, Canelo Alvarez boasts an impressive career, having been a professional for almost 2 decades. Since turning pro nearly 19 years ago, the February 2nd 61 fighter has competed at the elite level. He claimed the lineal middleweight title in 2015 and dominated the super middleweight division, taking down its champions in a series of 3 bouts during 2020 and 2021. With Canelo having fought for world titles more often than Berlanga has in professional fights, Berlanga has significantly less experience. Berlanga and Farayat have a lengthy relationship together. Berlanga became a professional athlete with the trainer supporting him. After a few years apart, they got back together in 2023. The 27-year-old from Brooklyn is confident he's got the perfect strategy for victory. He's described his jab as the key to his success, a tool that will not only be his primary asset but also pave the way for his powerful strikes. Additionally, he emphasizes that his preparation is crucial for avoiding mistakes that Canelo might exploit. As Canelo Alvarez gears up for his eagerly awaited showdown with Edgar Berlanga, the looming threat of injury casts a shadow over the excitement. Sports medicine specialist Dr. Brian Sutterer echoes this worry. Despite Alvarez's intense training regimen as he readies for the match at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, there's a growing concern that he might be overexerting himself. Lately, videos of Cinnamon executing a rigorous neck-strengthening routine, utilizing his entire body weight of approximately 168 pounds, have surged in popularity online. One particular clip attracted the notice of Dr. Sutterer, a specialist in physical medicine and rehabilitation, who promptly issued a cautionary note to Canelo about the possible dangers associated with the exercise. Sharing Canelo's clip, Boxing Kingdom wrote, "Canelo Alvarez strengthening the neck with his entire body weight. Exercises like these are quite typical for boxers, as they help develop a robust neck, enabling it to withstand powerful impacts and minimize the risk of whiplash during bouts." Regardless, Dr. Sutterer immediately urged, "Don't do this. The cervical spine is not built to tolerate high compressive loads like this. If you want to strengthen your neck, do it without putting load through the top of your head." Though the doctor likely meant no harm with his advice for Canelo, a contentious social media influencer appears to have taken offense, interpreting the guidance as unnecessary or unwelcome. Shortly after the doctor offered his insights on Canelo's neck-strengthening regimen, Andrew Tate, the self-styled mastermind of the Matrix, swiftly interjected to challenge the doctor's views. Tate, a former mixed martial artist, responded to Dr. Stutterer's post, writing, "Bet he could beat the f*** out of you though, so who's really healthier?" Even though Cobra Tate's reply was filled with confrontation, Dr. Sutterer remained largely indifferent to the attempt at drama. Shortly after Dr. Sutterer responded with an answer to Tate's question, he wrote, "Definitely him. Going through some heart problems myself and can't do intense exercise ATM, but thanks for asking." Canelo Alvarez has long incorporated various exercises into his training regimen, including those focused on neck strength. While many videos highlight his approach to these exercises, this particular one appears relatively mild. Nonetheless, it's important to note that these exercises aren't necessarily safe for novices and should be approached with caution. Canelo Alvarez has left a trail of defeated opponents in his wake, including Caleb Plant, Sergey Kovalev, Liam Smith, and Amir Khan. Remember that unforgettable moment when he landed a blow on Billy Joe Saunders that shattered his orbital bone? But the question remains, is Alvarez the most fearsome puncher in boxing right now? At just 27 years old, Berlanga secured his first 16 victories through first-round knockouts, showcasing his remarkable knockout power. But does this automatically make him superior to Canelo? In an interview with Fight Hub TV, seasoned boxer and former WBO international super middleweight champion Gabriel Rosado shared insights on who truly holds the edge in power. Technically speaking, Berlanga doesn't even come close to matching Canelo Alvarez's prowess. However, the younger boxer possesses an abundance of power. Rosado, though, believes that despite this raw strength, it won't significantly benefit Berlanga when it comes to refining their techniques. "Canelo knows how to switch up that speed where Berlanga's just shooting that shotgun," said Rosado. He elaborated, "And that takes experience to understand how to switch speeds, how to throw decoy shots, how to just throw a lift you up with an uppercut just to set up the hook to the body." This prompted Rosado to determine that Canelo Alvarez is the more formidable puncher between the two. Not only does Alvarez possess immense power, but he also skillfully orchestrates his punches to set up devastating blows. To give you a clearer picture, Canelo Alvarez boasts 61 professional victories, with 39 of those coming by knockout. These wins were earned against some of the most elite fighters in the sport. In contrast, Edgar Berlanga hasn't encountered the same caliber of opponents. Although Berlanga's knockout record is notable, it doesn't compare to the formidable competition Canelo has faced. Berlanga seems to be banking on the idea that Canelo might underestimate him. Edgar Berlanga is banking on Canelo Alvarez, underestimating him in their upcoming fight. Berlanga told Boxing Scene that he believes Canelo is overlooking. Berlanga is convinced that Canelo's confidence will play into his hands. To prepare for the biggest fight of his career, Berlanga has isolated himself in the high-altitude wilderness of Boulder, Colorado. Despite the 18-to-1 odds stacked against him, Berlanga is determined to showcase his boxing IQ and mental fortitude. Promoter Eddie Hearn has hailed Edgar Berlanga's forthcoming bout as an unmissable chance, emphasizing that it's an opportunity that simply cannot be passed up. Puerto Rican fighter Berlanga is thrilled to have secured a coveted chance at Canelo's super middleweight titles. However, this dream match may be more of a formidable challenge than a straightforward opportunity, as Berlanga steps into the ring against Alvarez, widely regarded as one of boxing's finest. Despite the slim chances, Hearn, the chairman of Matchroom Boxing and Berlanga's promoter, is confident that his fighter is poised to seize the opportunity. Hearn told DAZN, "You never know if you're ready for a fighter like Canelo Alvarez until you get in there, because the problem is, he's so elite. Berlanga's got a big heart, he's got big belief, and he's ready to perform on September 14. It's Mexico against Puerto Rico." Berlanga solidified his standing by knocking out Ireland's Padraig McCrory in the 6th round last February. This decisive victory earned Berlanga the status of mandatory challenger for the WBA title at 168 pounds. However, potential bouts with Mexico's Jaime Munguia and France's Christian Mbili failed to materialize. Canelo selected Berlanga to be his opponent for Mexico's Independence Day fight night. Following the announcement, the two fighters have been locked in a heated exchange, with Berlanga promising to use his jab and tactical acumen to challenge Canelo's dominance. Hearn said, "There isn't a lot in the gap between both fighters, and maybe Edgar could afford a Munguia or Mbili, but they weren't there and they didn't happen. When you get the opportunity as mandatory, you've got to take it." Hearn seized the moment to reveal that the unbeaten Diego Pacheco is set to battle the victor of the Canelo Berlanga showdown, following his impressive 6th round knockout of Machai Sulecki last Saturday. With this victory, Pacheco has secured his 10th stoppage in his last 11 bouts, as Sulecki was knocked out by a series of body shots that left him on the canvas. Hearn said, "I look at it a little bit like Diego. He's going to be mandatory to the Canelo Alvarez against Berlanga winner. He probably needs that friction fight, but you never know until you're in the deep end." Canelo Alvarez has been energized by Edgar Berlanga, according to Bernard Hopkins, to destroy him on September 14th. Hopkins believes that Canelo initially planned to simply overpower him and let him have another chance to continue his career. However, given all the hype and trash talk coming from the New Yorker Berlanga, Alvarez now intends to leave him in a much worse condition. Berlanga has expressed disdain for the notion that Canelo might show him mercy at the start. He views it as a sign of vulnerability, something that runs counter to his own fighting philosophy. Berlanga is known for his relentless approach, never holding back against his rivals. His record of 16 first-round knockouts speaks volumes about his unyielding style and refusal to show any sign of weakness. "Canelo gets the knockout within 6 or 7 rounds, said Bernard Hopkins to the media, predicting a knockout win for Canelo Alvarez over Edgar Berlanga on September 14th. "Sure, and that's why he will get knocked out," said Hopkins when told that Berlanga predicts a knockout over Canelo. Had Berlanga not been so fixated on securing a knockout, Canelo would have eventually halted him sooner or later. Therefore, Berlanga's best bet is to aggressively pursue the fight and go down fighting. By taking this approach, he might still have a slim chance of victory if he manages to land an early blow, similar to how he did against Padraig McCrory on February 24th. "He must come to the fire. I'm going with Canelo. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Anything can happen, right? But if you ask me who I'm going for if I have to put money down, Canelo all day," said Hopkins. He further added, "You know the worst thing Berlanga did to Canelo? He energized him to destroy him. You know, sometimes you keep your mouth shut and the guy doesn't beat you up that bad. He leaves you with a career to fight another fight one day. He blew that. Canelo took that off the table." Berlanga is pushing hard to sell the fight, aiming to maximize revenue. The price tag may deter many fans and potentially limit the number of purchases. To counteract this, Berlanga is resorting to trash talk to boost interest and drive up the buy rate, hoping to capitalize on the pay-per-view profits. It's not even personal. He just wants to show him now. "I was just going to beat you up and get my $30 million, but now I'm going to mess you up," said Hopkins. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.